Hello, and welcome to Rock Your Block, where we highlight individuals who impact our community. I'm your host, Larry Laws. On today's segment of First Home Alliance, we have the honor to highlight the Honorable Mayor Michelle Davis Younger, a native of Manassas. Michelle Davis Younger is the first Black female to hold the highest office in the city. Since 2018, she has proudly served numerous boards and associations, including the Manassas City Council, and championed the causes of Manassas residents. Her two children have been educated in the Manassas City's public schools. In addition, she is the small business owner of the 1-4-HR. She loves her city and is her hometown hero. Mayor Davis Younger is moving from breaking barriers to producing positive change and influencing future generations. Her family has its roots in Manassas and has witnessed the city's program from a town under segregation to her becoming its mayor. Mayor Davis Younger uses her position to inspire young Black, Indigenous, and people of color, particularly girls, to dream big dreams and to work hard to achieve them. She has also spoken at local schools, conferences, and community events to encourage Manassas civil participation and active involvement in city life. Please welcome to the show the Mayor of Manassas City, Virginia, the Honorable Mayor Michelle Davis Younger. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Larry. I appreciate it. Thank you for the invitation to participate today. It is an honor to be with you.
All right, thank you, Madam Mayor. yes, and thank you so much for being in here today.
Absolutely.
And so I understand you're from the city.
Well, I was born in the county, in Manassas. A lot
Okay.
of folks don't realize, you know, that Manassas is divided, and you have Manassas City, and then you have Manassas that's Prince William County. So I
Okay.
grew up in the county part of Manassas, not in the city, but moved into the city in 2011. So, yeah, been around Manassas my whole life, though. So
Yes,
yeah.
but that's great that
Yeah.
you're there and
Yeah.
your kids. And also understand that, you know, besides being Madam Mayor,
Yeah.
you actually have a business that you run.
Oh yes, my business, the 1-4-HR LLC, is an HR consulting firm that I started when I got the push out of the window and got laid off. And I just decided it was always a side thing that I did in addition to being an HR director, but I knew that one day I would own it outright do that full time, and I have been since 2017. Brick and mortar office right in historic downtown in Manassas, where I help folks write resumes, prepare for interviews, look for work if they want a career change, kind of a system with that as well. And then the other side is helping small businesses who don't necessarily have or can't afford an full-blown HR department, and they just need someone to come in and ad hoc services, write a handbook, do training, do performance evaluations, hire, fire, that kind of thing. I have one client right now that has me on a retainer that I just perform services for on a monthly basis. So it works well. When I became mayor, I had 5 clients.
Yeah.
I had to drop back because it was just too much. I couldn't devote, and I'm a do it 100% or don't do it
Yes.
type person. So I still have my clients. I still do the mayor job and do all the other things that come along with it. So
That is great. So
yeah.
you can actually help what, start up or a business that's already mature.
Yeah, if either one. I mean, businesses that are just starting out, you don't have an HR need, but you still want to know if you're doing things the right way. Then I
Yes.
come in and go, oh yeah, you have to do this, or no, you have to do that. And it's just sort of a guidance. And then some people just hire me for little small projects and say, see you later, but I'm always there.
Yes.
They can always call me if they need help. So, but I just have the one client that I help on a consistent basis. But startup, if they've been in business for a while, like I said, if they can't afford or don't need a full-time HR, it fills that need that they may have at that time. And as businesses grow, they find that they need it more, more
Yes.
than not. If you have 2 employees versus 25, it's
That's
a different
true.
it's a different look.
That's true.
So yeah, they need
Yes.
to know what to do to be compliant, and
Yes.
that's where I come in. So
Yes, well,
yeah,
thank you
I love
for
it.
providing that. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Yes. Now, as mayor, that is a job within itself.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it right.
Yes, yeah, yes.
Yeah. People say, "Is it part time?" I'm like, "No. If you're gonna do it right, it is full time." I mean, they consider it part time, but
Yes.
for me, it has not been
Yes.
since day one.
Yes.
It's been full time.
And you had a lot of accomplishments. A
Yeah,
lot of accomplishments.
I like to think I
Yes,
have
yes.
so far. It's just been 3 years
Yes.
serving as council member for 2 before that, before I became mayor. But and so when people say, what are your biggest accomplishment?
What are the biggest?
It's to me, it's just what I do, and
Yes.
I know there's some things that stand out more than others, but for me, it was coming into the position and for people to understand and know that Manassas has a mayor. But not just that, but a mayor who cares, a mayor who listens, and moreover, a mayor who's approachable. That you can just come up to me and have a conversation. It's just like you've known me your whole life. That to me is what a mayor does and what a mayor should do. Be in the community. And where we didn't necessarily have that before, I have really gone out regionally beyond our community, but more in our community to say, I'm here, I want to hear from you. I'm part of you. I'm from here. How can I not? You know, right? But so that to me is an accomplishment, just changing the face of, not just physically, but literally changing the face of what the mayor's office looks like and making City Hall more approachable. Because people have a fear of government, a lot in Manassas, and so breaking down that wall was big for me, and so I became a community mayor,
Yes, and you have changed the face of mayor.
Yes, I have.
Definitely. And a
Yes,
wonderful job that
you.
you've done.
Thank you.
But you have to also initiated some programs. Can you say, particularly, I know I'm asking for one favorite program, the most achievable, but give us a highlight.
Well, there's
of some of the
when I
programs.
first got in, as mayor, I started the Walk with the Mayor. I do that in the spring, where I just we only have one high school in the city, so 8:30 on Saturday morning, I just tell people, meet me at the high school. We're going to walk around historic downtown. A lot of people aren't or weren't aware of what we have to offer in our historic downtown. They'd never been to shops, and I thought this is a perfect time to have people meet me, walk around historic downtown, and oh, by the way, the farmers market is just down the street. We'll end there. So that drove people to the market. And it's so funny because we'll walk around, which only takes like 20 minutes. We're very small. So it only takes maybe 20 minutes to walk around historic downtown. Then we head to the farmers market, and there'll be people still following me around the market. I'm like, you can go now. You don't have, but we want to shop with you, So I always make sure I go around to the vendors at the market, because they could choose to be anywhere with their products, but they've chosen Manassas. And so it's important for me. I do it every Saturday. I walk around and say hi, thank you for being here, because that's important, and they feel connected, like, oh my gosh, it's the mayor, she's thanking us, because you can go anywhere and sell your goods, but you've chosen us.
Yes, and you're very recognizable.
I think so. At first I wasn't, and then people would be like, that was the mayor?
Yes, recognizable.
She's so cool.
Just this past weekend, I understand that people, she's coming on the show, I recognize she was at this event.
Right, because I do make a point to go out, because you want people to come to you, so you have to go to their various things, and they'll remember that, small.
And you have a program for young women.
Yes,
Tell us about
for young girls, I aimed it at 10 to 16, because I think that age is when you're just trying to maybe figure out what you want to do. And government, I never knew about it, wasn't taught about it. I didn't have anybody to go to ask questions. And so for me, it was important to create that opening and say, hey, come in. So I started the My Mayor Looks Like Me, first capitalizing on Kamala's win, being the first. And then I come behind her, and I'm the first.
Yes.
And so I thought, how can I make this, just so real for them? They can touch me. A lot of the folks that come in, the girls that come in, have never been to City Hall. They've never met a mayor, much less a woman mayor, much less a black woman mayor.
Right.
So it's like knocking all the boxes, right? And so they come in on a Saturday, they sit in my seat, they get to interview me. I tell them to come with questions. And oh my gosh, some of them are so hard. I'm like, oh, why did you ask me that? We should have practiced first. But they come in with questions, and it's just such a lovely time. I prepare a gift bag to give them, which they get a shirt that says My Mayor Looks Like Me, so they can keep that. I give them a journal in which I write a message to each girl, each individual girl. I pray about each girl. I don't know them, most of them. Some of them I do know. But I'll ask, what does Melissa need to hear from me?
Yes.
What does she? And I'll just write, you're a great friend. Don't forget to smile. Keep smiling. You're great. Don't give up on your dreams. Just inspirational things like that. A mirror, so they can just look at themselves and tell themselves how beautiful they are every day, no matter what. Facial wipes to wipe off the bad days. I mean, these bags are like, not a lot of good stuff in it, but it comes with the message of, make sure that you're hanging around people who are about doing something and setting goals for themselves,
Yes.
because you're being watched.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're posting online and what you're saying. That's how I got involved in being counsel and all of that. It came after me because people were watching me, who I hung around, how I talked, what I did in the community, and I wasn't aware of it. But they
Yes.
came to me, we've seen you do this, we want you to represent us. So opportunities open. So
Yes.
that's, to me, when you're in a position, you're held accountable for what you do, what do you leave behind.
Yes.
And I'm accountable for that, and I'm a big proponent of lifting as you climb. As I go higher, I'm gonna bring with.
Yes.
And
yes.
show how to do it
Well,
right.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
And also,
yeah.
I want to share more. I definitely love what you're doing with the girls.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit more of some of those other things that you're doing outside in the community.
Gosh, oh my gosh. What else? So the midday with the mayor, I had to
Yes.
leave that to come
Yeah.
here with you today. I put myself right in the middle of our old town for July and August, and I just sit there for an hour, tell people to bring their lunch, come and eat with me, chat and chew with the mayor. It's
Yes.
called Midday with the Mayor, but we literally sit there and just talk about whatever residents want to talk about. I do have a special guest come,
Yes.
and we just eat and talk. I answer questions, talk about events coming up in the city, but the mayor is there for an entire hour for you to come yell at me, ask me questions, whatever it turns out to be. Nobody's yelled yet.
Yes,
but
yes.
but it's another opportunity to say, the mayor's out there, and she's there for me to answer my questions, and that's
Okay.
important to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And we want to come back to that. We're
Yeah.
going to take a short break.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
All right, thank you. And so, but before we go, I would like to remind you that First Home Alliance is a HUD-approved housing counseling agency serving the National Capital Area. If you are a first-time home buyer or homeowner in need of mortgage assistance, please visit the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development website to find a HUD-approved agency in your area. We'll be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
With First Home Alliance. A little bit about First Home Alliance. We are a HUD-approved housing counseling agency that was established in 2002 by our executive director, Larry Law. He established the nonprofit. He established it because his mother purchased her first home at the age of 65. And everyone was like, how did you do that? Because her income was really low. And so that's how he found out about the USDA program. And so through the USDA program, his mother was able to purchase her first home. It intrigued him to see how he could help individuals basically experience the American dream of homeownership. So he established the nonprofit. Mission is to increase home ownership to low to moderate income families. And so what does First Home Alliance do?
Welcome back. You're watching Rock Your Block. I'm your host, Larry Laws of First Home Alliance. And if you're just now tuning in, we're joined today with the Honorable Mayor, Michelle Davis Younger. Madam Mayor, we was covering a lot of great programs,
Yeah.
and you've been out there in the community. We really appreciate that. And so one of the things that you was talking about during the break was about the airport. Tell us about the airport.
Right, our Manassas Airport, been around for a long time, and it's been talked about for a while, but we recently the council just voted to have commercial airlines coming in out of there. It's a couple of years away, but at least we're now started the process, and we're very excited about it. We're gonna have 4 gates now, renovations done. We don't know what airlines yet, but we're hopeful. It's gonna be the smaller carriers, but we're very excited to be able to bring jobs into the airport and help our residents, get more income, better income, and do something they may love. But the convenience of it,
Yes.
not competition, but convenience. We're not competing with Dulles and National. It's just convenience. I mean, for the residents who live close by, it's a quick drive versus going down 28 to Dulles. A quick drive from your car to the plane could be as less than 10 minutes. So we're very excited about it and looking forward to breaking ground and Apport's doing their thing and getting in there. They're looking to be great community partners as well. And I hold people to that. When you say you want to do something in my city, what else are you going to do for me?
Yes,
If
yes.
you coming in here tearing up my ground, I need to know it's going to benefit everybody and the whole entire community.
Yes.
Change is hard,
Yes.
but people.
True.
It's where we're going. It was just, we already had commercial flights in and out. It's just going to be 4 gates that are just for that, and so that caused a little bit of more pollution, more noise, and all that. But the studies will be done. Everything will be handled. FAA is involved. We're just going to go through the process, and really, really glad to see it coming.
Okay.
So yeah,
Right.
very exciting.
Yes, sounds very exciting.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about a program that's been ongoing, the Old Town Inn.
Oh, the Old Town Inn, yeah.
Yes.
Finally got that sold. We closed on that in May.
Okay.
That was something that was at the top of my list when I became mayor. Growing up there in Manassas and seeing that it was a hotel that really, I mean, they just kept putting lipstick on the pig and kept
Yes.
painting it, and it's only so much paint you can do, right? And so it really needed renovating, and so when I became mayor, it was at the top of my list to reach out to the owners and form a friendship and just kind of say, what are you doing here? Their family dynamics changed, their family situation, they're no longer in the area. I'm like, just let it go. But I understood it because they opened that when their son was born as a fallback in case their business didn't make it. And their business did make it. And now their son is almost 30.
Wow.
I'm like, you gotta let go. It's time to let go. So it was 2 years of just forming the friendship and getting to know the owners, understanding what they wanted, the legacy that they wanted to carry on. But they were adamant about it happening during my time, which I so appreciated. And it took a lot. It took a lot to get them there. Again, money spent, money well spent, but it was, funds used from the sale of land. And,
Yes.
we say no taxpayer money, but it got kind of criticized for that. But really, no taxpayer money was used, but used money from the sale of land to buy it. People were saying it wasn't worth it, but it was a profitable business. They were making about $30,000 a month
Yes.
from that hotel, as raggedy as it was. It was still turning a profit for them. So to get them to the point of selling, and it sold for just over $5 million, it's 5.75, but the price tag started about 12.
Okay.
So it was me getting them down.
negotiation.
So I'm like,
Yes.
be glad, that you have the type of mayor that can
Yes.
negotiate and try to work with them. So just so excited. We're now entertaining developers, anybody that wants to put a bid in or whatever.
Yes.
We're open to it. We had community meetings, and the community was pretty adamant about seeing a hotel there in the middle of historic downtown. We need it because
Yes.
we don't have anything. We have a True by Hilton on the outskirts of the city,
Correct.
over by near the airport, but there's nothing in historic downtown, and we need it so badly. We have First Fridays that are wonderful. I'd love to see people make an entire weekend out of First Friday. You come in on Friday, you don't leave till Monday.
Right.
And then the small mom and pop shops and businesses around it will benefit from people staying there an entire weekend. It'll be
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
I'm just so excited about it. That's my pet. That's my baby project.
But that sounds good.
Right.
Yeah, and also it seemed one of the programs that have actually have grown into a great program, the Grow Manassas.
Right, yeah.
Yes, and tell us a little bit about
Yeah,
that.
that started off, we got with the PPP money when COVID hit in 2020. It was Elevate, and that was sort of a partnership with the county, Manassas Park and Manassas. We won an award for that. But then the county kept that part and kept it moving. And then we started Graduate, which was a free GED program. Then we sort of expanded and partnered with Nova, which into Grow Manassas, which now residents don't have to pay a cent, and they can get certain certifications like healthcare, CNA, certain IT certifications
Yes.
free of charge. Just
Wow.
have to be a Manassas resident, Manassas City resident, 20110. That's what I tell people, where do you live? Because they're like, are you my mayor? I'm like, depends on your zip code.
Right.
If you're outside of 20110, I'm not your mayor. You have a chair of the board. It's
Yes.
different. But people don't know a lot of times where they live, like,
Yes.
and I'm glad they asked. But
Yes.
Grow Manassas, is it is an amazing program, and we're so glad to be partnered with Nova. And a lot of people are finding their way through that, and that's where the other side of my business comes in, because when people are ready to look for work, I can help you write your resume. I can help you get it's all there for them. So love it.
Yes, and you have attended some opportunities for recognition and basically like for volunteers.
Right,
What are some
right,
of the things you do in
right.
recognizing
We
volunteers?
have a big dinner every
Yes.
year. We hadn't done it. I think we did it this past year. I think we did when COVID hit. We had to stop. So, but we recognize, because we have about 40 or so boards, commissions, and committees in the city, and we want to recognize them because you're taking your personal time once a month, twice a month, whatever it may be, to come and participate and help our city move forward by being on a board. We don't take that lightly. You don't have to do those things. And so we want to show recognition for that. So we do a big dinner out at the Hilton Performing Arts Center, and they just love it, and they're able to bring spouses and things like that, just to recognize them for all their, what they've done to help move the city forward. It's really great.
Yes. Well, I've seen you in the community. I've seen you on the parade trail.
Oh, yes. Oh, I have to do the parades. Oh, my goodness. Got the wave down.
Yes.
Yeah,
If you had
definitely.
to, what is the greatest greatest part of being a mayor?
I think it's so hard to say one thing because there's so many wonderful aspects to being mayor, but being able to meet so many people. I love it when I run into people who have visited, and they say, we came here, we came to this event, and we decided to move here because of that. We met you. People will say, we met you, and you were greeting people as so-and-so, and we thought, what mayor does that?
Really?
So when I hear things like that, to me, when someone makes a choice, business or personal, moving their family to the city of Manassas, that to me that's accomplishment. That is one of the greatest things. Meeting strangers who are now my residents,
Yes.
and they've made the choice to make Manassas home, and businesses who are choosing to come into the city as well. I think that is like just the cream of the crop there when you get that, when you hear that from people.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, on the other side of the coin,
I knew you were going to do that.
what would be the least favorable?
I think the negativity and how social media people use that. I often, at the beginning of my mayor's comments in our council meetings, I encourage people, come to the meetings if you can. Come in person, or at least watch them. Don't get your news from Facebook.
Right.
Don't get your news off Twitter. You need to come and hear what was actually said. Watch the videos. Ask the questions of the people sitting up here. Don't just run with, oh, somebody said this and that must be the truth because it was on the internet. Come and do it for yourself. That's the part. And join in the bandwagon. When you don't know me, and when I see things, I will often reach out to people. They get shocked because I'll say, I saw where you posted such and such. What did you mean by that? How about coming in and sitting down talking to me? Because it's different. People will hesitate or pause once they have a conversation with you and they feel your heart and they see
Yes.
and they see my passion for this, and I never mean anybody harm. Once they talk to me and sit down with me, they can't sit there and keyboard
One
bully.
other thing, we have a portrait of you, and I know we're cementing your legacy here. Tell us about the portrait.
The portrait, oh gosh, it was so much fun doing that. It was a little nerve-wracking because I had to sit still for an hour and a half, which is very hard for me. But so amazing. Mary Riley, Creative Brush, it's in her studio right now. City Hall is being renovated, so it's not up in City Hall, but it'll go there once we're done. But an absolute honor to be able to be amongst, be the first woman portrait being done. It's amazing. She did a phenomenal job. I think she got some award by using my portrait as part of an entry in something. I thought, wow, that's pretty good.
Yes,
but just such an honor to have it done and to be able to know that I'm going to be on display forever. It's going to be really awesome to be finally up on a wall.
Yeah.
But
Well, Madam Mayor, I want to say thank you for coming
yes,
in, and we have to do this
absolutely.
again sometime.
Yes,
There's so
absolutely.
much.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right then, and we'll see
Okay.
you in the community. Really appreciate the great job that you're doing.
Great, thank
serving
you.
our
All
community.
right, thank you.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this interview with the Manassas City Mayor, the Honorable Mayor Michelle Davis Younger. If you would like more information, you may find her on social media. Now it's time to check our inbox to see how we can help rock your block. This is where we share a recent question sent to us by you, our viewing audience, about financial wellness and housing. Today's question comes from Woodbridge, Virginia. I'm a homeowner. My COVID-19 forbearance period is ending. What should I do? I ask that you call a HUD-approved housing counseling agency that can help you contact your mortgage company and reach the assistance that you may have to stabilize your housing in the community. I am Larry Laws of First Home Alliance. It's been my pleasure sharing with you our mission and highlighting people in our community that are making an impact. If you have questions about financial wellness or how we can help make your dream of homeownership a success, email your question to our inbox at help@firsthomealliance.org. Then tune in to our next show to see if your question was selected to be shared with our audience. You can easily get more information about our services by visiting us on the web. Thank you for watching today's segment of First Home Alliance, and join us next time to rock your block.
Glad to know that, some of this stuff about credit and buying houses is written down somewhere. A lot of the times it's always hearsay, like other friends or family members who have bought houses before, but they can never, tell you legit what you need to get done and do before buying a house.
I definitely think this class should be required for all first home buyers because a lot of times the real estate agent doesn't explain the process to you. So I think this is very important.
It's from the credit up to receiving a loan, and the most important thing is the process that you go through when you're buying the house, and there are a lot of process which you don't have idea about that before you take this class.
Speakers who came up and spoke about each section, they were very knowledgeable in their field, and I felt like it was relatable. They didn't just throw out a whole bunch of terms that went over my head, but they really explained it in a way to where I understood it, and I could even explain it to my children, and it was even easier for me to take home and kind of remember and process and apply to my next steps. The process was amazing.
They start first with a class before even finding a lender or agent. So I did all that and I wasn't able to purchase, and then I was like, oh, you know what, there's a lot of information I'm not aware of. Let me just start from the beginning to put everything on hold. Start from
Piecing the information together, because you've heard things about the loans and about this and about the credit, but this is like a summary, and it just gives a clear flow of where to go with what you have and kind of building up a plan. So that kind of gives me a whole picture of where I needed to go and how to get there.